Have you ever wondered if whatever you are currently doing in your life is actually your own choice? As probably the majority of you, I thought it was, until one day my life changed beyond recognition. As a child, I was raised to be the best at everything I did, at sports, at school, and I was really frustrated if I wasn't. I have a picture of my gymnastics competition, and I'm crying. Yet, I am the only girl with a medal in the whole group. I took the third place that day, and I was devastated. This pressure of being the best at everything lasted for years, and it took me places. When I was 13, my mom gave me a newspaper, and there was an article about the CEO of one of the largest gas-producing companies in Russia, and she said, "You need to study at the university this man went to." Sure, my mom wasn't aware of the whole bureaucracy system in Russia, but I devoted the following 4 years to accomplish that goal. And from there, my life followed quite a linear path. I entered one of the best universities in Russia. I did my master's in one of the best universities in Europe, which happens to be located in Italy, by the way. And after that, quite naturally, I started my successful, I hope, career in one of the famous tech companies where everybody wants to work. And as they say, nobody wants to quit. I was working in the company of my or everybody's dream, and everything was great until one day my life was turned upside down, as it felt back then. It was a difficult period at work, and I already started to feel unhappy with my job, and I wasn't feeling I was making a difference, and thus I felt this urge to create value, to create something valuable for myself and for others. This was a pivotal moment. For the first time in my life, I took a pencil, well, actually a stylus, in my hand, and I started to draw. Even if my drawings were like this, I understood immediately there was something in it. It was giving me so much joy. And I started to publish my works on Instagram. More and more people followed me, and the response was amazing. Thousands of people inspired by what I was doing, by my story. For the first time in my life, I felt I was making an impact. And now I had a dream: inspire more and more people around the globe and turn my passion into something bigger. 6 months later, I took an important but tough decision to quit my job and start a career as a fashion illustrator. Now you may wonder, what is fashion illustration? One may think I just draw beautiful girls in beautiful garments. But there is so much more to it. For me, deep down, it's showing fashion from a different perspective. It's undertaking an ambitious mission of removing stereotypes and labels that exist in the sphere. Putting fashion into an alternative setting is showing that fashion is a true art. And for me, on a personal level, it's a way to express my creativity. It's a way to be in harmony with my own expression, with what I want to be in this world. This was so important to me that I decided to leave my job and accept financial uncertainty implied by this choice, to stand for my dream. Turned out there was nothing certain in my life anymore. People around me considered me crazy because I left the dream job to draw. No matter how I wanted my friends and family to support me, they couldn't. I was alone. Having this pressure, I was forced to come face to face with my label. Not anymore I was conforming to the label that I was assigned many years ago, back in my childhood. And now, when I was alone, I really decided to stand for my dream. Mountains of thoughts and doubts flowed into my head. I was losing friends. I had a lack of understanding in my family. I felt lost. I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. because I didn't have support in my network in this tough but crucial moment in my life. But I had courage to continue on my new way of living. I had courage, and I felt the need to go for a journey of self-discovery, and this is how I chose to go to Vietnam, where I spent the last 6 months, and I just returned a week ago. And forgive me the lack of tan, but I was working really hard. And while I was in this journey of self-discovery, I was offered an opportunity to take a job, part-time job, in a startup. And I decided to take it. In addition to being a fashion illustrator, now I became a communications director in a fintech startup. How cool is that? It took me only a month to start feeling unhappy again. I was trying to find the reason. I was trying to understand what was that thing that didn't feel right. And then it struck me. I took this job only to fill in a gap. I was trying to live up to the label that I was assigned back in my childhood: outperformer, a busy woman in career. I was living in the old sticky label again. It was easy to come back to the safety, and the safety didn't make me happy. It made me a slave of the label, of someone else's vision of myself, and I was trying to be something that I was not anymore. So what do you think about labels? We use labels to orient ourselves in the society. They help us to distinguish who is who. Label is a form, and I discovered that sometimes your form, your label, is not the same as your essence, or it even prevents you from understanding your real essence. Labels are manipulative. They dictate us who we should be and how we need to behave. We became incapable of ignoring labels when we assess people, as much as we are unable to live without a label ourselves. We begin to subconsciously believe that to be someone in this world, we need to fit in somewhere, in someone else's vision of a complete and successful person. It was through fashion illustration that I discovered freedom to remove the label. Labels are powerful. Removing them can be rather hard and scary. But you have a choice. You can stay true to yourself or stick with the label. Choosing to trust yourself, to follow your own voice, and understanding your real essence is finding your inner peace, happiness, and freedom. Thank you.